Hi guys, welcome back to Two Moms, Too Much Coffee. This is Jashelle.
And this is Tempest.
Hey Tempest.
That one felt better. Episode
Yeah,
like 13, 14, it finally
yeah, that one
feels
like
like
came off
a
the tongue a little bit better.
yeah. No like huge awkward pause. Hey guys, we're getting better.
Yeah, it's only taken us, a couple months, but it's good. We're good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. It's been a long weekend and the sun has been shining. So I'm like I'm happy. I always know that if the sun is shining and the weather is warm and I'm outside in some way, I am a bundle of joy.
Yes, and it's Ohio, so the fact that the sun is shining says a lot.
Yeah, there is a stat out there that Ohio is cloudier than Seattle, like
Wait,
full on
what?
cloud than Seattle. Like Columbus is a cloudy state in some reason, or a cloudy city, and some people just don't realize that. But it is so cloudy here,
I
and
didn't know.
so when the sun is out, makes me happy.
Yeah, that's fun. I love that, especially with the kids to just like get out of the house. So,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
I had
So
exactly. Sorry.
no, go ahead. What'd you say?
I was gonna say I had the exact opposite of that weekend. It's sunny, but it's been very exhausting. Nick was sick all weekend. So when you have a sick husband, but you don't want the baby to get sick. So I pretty much like kicked him out of the room, the bedroom,
Yeah.
and made him wear a mask. So I've been on full on mommy duty without daddy. So I'm very, very tired, but it's okay. It's you do it for the kids, so it's fine.
Exactly. And has Naya gotten sick?
No, thank God. But
Good.
hopefully, like with breastfeeding, that also has helped. So hopefully she
Yeah.
just stays. I really hope she does not get sick, but
Well,
we've been pretty good.
I don't, I think I might have told you, but I don't know if I told the podcast. Abel spit in Sequoia's eye. Did I tell
Yeah,
you that?
they tell me that.
Uh,
I
okay.
shook.
So Abel has like not been sick for a long time. After like flu and cold season, he was like not sick for a couple months. And then he spit in Sequoia's eye, which he was like, "Can I spit in her eye?" And me and my mom and Adam were just sitting there and we were like, "Did he just say that?" Like kind of and too slow. We thought way too long about it. Full on spit in her eye. He's like on top of her. Great aim. Just straight spit in her eye. And I was like, did he just spit in her eye? Why would he do that? It was wild. And Adam was like, he's two. He doesn't have like a
Yeah,
functioning brain. He just wanted to, and so he did.
that he asked. He's like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
But the reason I bring that up is because he then got sick like the next day. He was like super sick. And I was like just waiting and waiting for Sequoia to get sick because I don't know a
Mhm.
bigger viral load than spit into an eyeball. And he never got sick, or she never got sick, and I never got sick, and Adam did get sick. So it was contagious, whatever it was, but we didn't get it. So maybe it was the breast milk.
Good. Oh my gosh. I like
Yeah.
that's hoping. I'm like, maybe my breast milk would just save it. She had like a weird eye. She like woke up yesterday with a swollen eye. And I immediately was like, pink eye? How did you get pink eye? And then I was spiraling. But anyway, Nick was like, why don't we just put like a cold compress of your breast milk on it? And so we did that and it stopped being red, but it was still a little swollen. And then we did it again at like an hour later, and then it was gone. It was normal. So I don't know if she like scratched it, like rubbing, but of course I spiraled it immediately. It was like, pink eye, she's gonna lose an eye. But she's fine.
uh, from a mom that has had that before, it is likely a blocked tear duct. That
Hmm.
happens in babies when they're really young. And cold compress is the best way to do it, just a few times a day, and they just it just unblocks.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And it was like her eye was like watering a little bit. So maybe that's what was going on. But either way, I'm just glad it was not, I don't know how she would have gotten it, but babies get weird things. So,
that they do. Yeah.
but how's Sequoia been?
Oh, she's so doll. She's so great. We switched from the snoo into a pack and play
Mm.
because We're really bad second time parents. I was like, okay, well, she needs to get out of the snoo because she rolled over. So she's trying to roll while she's
Mhm.
sleeping. And I was like, she's clearly uncomfortable being strapped into the snoo. So let me move her into the crib. And then as a second time mom, I don't have a crib mattress for her. I didn't think about it. I literally was like, oh, shoot, we have a crib, but we have no mattress. So I ordered it real late. Like I'm pretty sure it was overnight where I saw her at 4 in the morning trying to turn over in the snoo. And so I order it on Amazon. So it'll be here today.
Yeah.
But she is in the pack and play and she slept through the night. Well, not through the night, but she slept in it very well
Mm,
during the night, just as well as she did in the snoo. So she is done with the snoo. I don't see a reason why to put her back in there.
big
So
changes.
it really is big changes.
Yeah.
And I don't have a sound machine for her, so I'm using the portable one just plugged into the wall. It is like we're super ghetto right now. Like just like using any single thing that Abel was like a prince. He had absolutely everything, two of everything. And poor Sequoia's over here like, hello, where's my sound machine and my
Not the
mattress?
pack and play in a little pluggable. He gets a
Like,
hatch in a crib. Okay. Okay.
exactly. Whoopsie. Oh well, the next kid will be sleeping in a drawer.
So, like, are you gonna get? My sister actually did that with my nephew, but we're not gonna talk about that. Are we? Are you gonna get a different sound machine since you're like kind of not a fan of Hatch, or
Well, right now though, it is honestly working. Like I don't
okay?
under. It was like $20. I'm like, why would I spend more money if like this is
No.
so? So I don't know what we're gonna do, but for right now, I am gonna just leave it as is, pack and play, portable sound machine, and she's sleeping just fine.
I
So
was gonna say she seems fine, so
it's like I'm not gonna fix anything that's broken or not broken.
that's not.
So
Yes.
yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
So what about you? How's Naya doing? How are you doing?
She's good. We moved her from the pack and play bassinet to her crib. So she slept through the first night last night. So we did naps all day in the crib yesterday. Her longest nap in the crib was an hour, which is big because she's only been doing 30-minute naps in the bassinet. But
Oh.
even like putting her down, I realized like putting her down in that bassinet, like she's so much heavier now. It's like it wobbles a little bit. But then in the crib, it was like nice and sturdy. So like it didn't like make her like startle or anything. And then last night she did well. She what was it? Like the longest she did like a 4 hour stretch and then woke up and did like another like 4.5 something. So we'll take it. But I think I was more sad than she was. I like cried when I walked in and I saw the bassinet was empty and I was like, she was
Oh,
so little and she fit in there. Now she does not. But yeah,
yeah.
so that's a big change and it's going well. I thought she was not gonna like it. But I think like we did a lot of like play in the crib. So she was like familiar with the environment and we would like put her in there when we were getting ready for other things. So it wasn't like a brand new, like I'm sitting in this like environment that I've never been in. So I feel like that might have helped, but who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen some of your stories with her on it or in
Yeah.
it. Like doing
Yeah.
like stuff. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. Well,
Yeah.
good. Look at
Good.
our little babies growing up.
I know. It's so like, it's just a lot. But like Naya, it's funny for like everyone who still doesn't know, but Sequoia and Naya were born a day apart. Sequoia is like full on like consistently rolling, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's rolling all the time.
Okay. Naya's still like very inconsistent, which of course my therapy heart and like, why aren't you rolling all the way? But she's fine because she's
She's
still
totally fine.
very much in the range and she does it. But she just like will be on her belly and she'll be like she'll be like grunting, like roll me over. But we ended up moving her mostly from the bassinet because she was rotating like a clock and her head is like going like you can hear her going around so she just doesn't fit in it anymore and because she's inconsistently rolling like either way it was still time to move over but she's like started losing a little bit of hair because she was like rubbing against the side of it so
Yes.
yeah big
My
changes.
little ball spot where she's strapped to this new and having to just move her head around. So we'll see what that if that heals up anytime soon.
Yeah, I wonder if she's gonna sleep on her belly more now.
I don't know. She still hasn't. Like I thought she would. from yesterday, I thought she would be like, oh, now I can turn. And she honestly, she's doing the clock thing. She's kind of like, I put her down and I walk back in the room and she's like the complete opposite direction, but
Oh.
she didn't roll over. I'm like, girl, sleep on your
Maybe
side.
she can now. She's like, I'm not restricted, so like I'm good now. I can make
Yeah.
my own
I
decisions.
could make my own decisions, I guess.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah. But you asked me how I'm doing, and I'm doing okay. I'm just very tired. And then I'm also just realizing like, I don't know. I'm like, do I have PPA? Just like
Yes.
little things that I just like I was just thinking the other day and I was like, I have a lot of anxiety driving with Naya. Like, and I think it's a lot of like because it's not in my control and people are crazy and people I can't control if someone's gonna like crash into me. I don't know. So like little things that I am picking up on that I didn't have a lot of anxiety with, I do now. And I don't know if it's like a mom thing or if it's just like a postpartum anxiety thing. So it's something I'm like, I don't know if maybe I should go to like my PCP or my OB and like, I don't know. I don't really want to take medication, but I'm not opposed to it. But like really digging into that. And then like as I was like researching, kind of digging more into why and like what my resources are, I learned that one of the hospitals here, I don't know if you've heard of it, Tampa General Hospital, but they're like starting a whole mental health program, which is
Oh.
huge for like all of postpartum moms, which is huge because no hospital has that. Like, I loved my birth experience. I had a great experience, but like, you just leave. No one checks in
Mhm.
on you. You have your 6 week appointment with your OB, but like, they ask you, like, how are you feeling? But like, the odds of a mom really being like depressed and anxious, I feel like are really low. So they're doing like a whole program. I'll actually like bear with me. I have the article pulled up, but it's a perinatal mental health program designed to support the mental health needs of mothers during pregnancy and up to a year after birth, which is huge, bridging the gap as they transition into parenthood. So there's an inpatient portion who will support patients on bed rest in labor and acutely postpartum. And then the outpatient component would support moms after they've been discharged before or after the 6 week postpartum clinic and up to 1 year after via telehealth counseling appointments, which is like such a huge like monumental thing because like to be followed for a year and to be able to like, oh, I think I have postpartum anxiety, I know where I can go to get help is honestly like probably going to be life changing for a lot of moms who are just kind of like me, kind of like, where do I begin? So
Mhm.
I wanted to bring that up because I think that's just like such a really big thing that they're doing right now.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Do you know if it is like charged to your insurance or you have to pay for it out of pocket or you just can you just go?
It doesn't say that in the article, but I would assume it would be insurance because
Yep.
it's America
Yeah,
and
yeah,
everything
this is
charged.
America.
I don't know. Yeah, I'd have to dig into that a little bit more, but I would assume it's probably insurance, or if it is a nonprofit type of program, that's even better because then
Yeah.
really going to get moms to come into the door. So yeah, I have to dig into that a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't know if there is anything like that in Columbus, but I do I when I had to go to birth trauma therapy for Abel, I had to go through my doula who pointed me to a nonprofit that one of my friends actually works at. And they were able to help me like find a therapist, but it was like I had to be very like, okay, this is something I want to do because it wasn't
Mm.
easy to like go through the paths of everything to get to a therapist that specialized in like birth trauma. So that it would be really great if I could just be
Yeah.
like, hey, let me just like go to this place that obviously everybody here knows why I'm here. They're going to support me through the next year, checking in on me and whatnot. Like that would be so amazing. So
Mhm.
kudos to Tampa. I guess we do like Florida sometimes.
Sometimes very little. We won't get into that.
Yeah, but yay, cool. That
Yeah.
is cool. And maybe, yes, I would say I didn't comment on the postpartum anxiety thing, but if you are feeling it, I would at least talk to your PCP and
Yeah.
see what they say. I think that, some anxiety is healthy, but if it's making you like not be able to sleep, or you're all
Mm.
consumed, or not be able to drive, is probably something to talk to somebody
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the biggest thing too. It's like I wish like when you have your baby, they're like, okay, if you have this, go to this person. You have this, go to this person. Or like, because I'm like, do I go to my psychiatrist? Do I go to well, and I don't have any of those things. So I feel like that then you get like decision paralysis. So I'm like, oh, I'll figure it out later, and then I don't make
Yeah.
a decision. So
I
it's just
swear
like,
that's the worst
yeah,
part of mental health things, is like you're like, "Ugh, this is too much work. I don't want to do this
mhm,
anymore. Like I'm
yeah.
already not feeling great, and now I have to like do all this extra work. No, thank
Mhm.
you."
No, thanks. I'm good. And then 6 months down the road, you're like, I guess I should have gone the first time, but it's
Whoopsie.
fine.
Yes.
But I'll keep you guys updated. Maybe
Yeah.
that'll be my motivate, keeping you guys updated.
Yeah. Somebody slide into Gishelle's DMs, ask her if she went and talked to somebody yet.
Yeah. But like backtracking a little bit. So when you put, I just like thought about this. Is Sequoia in her bassinet in her nursery? Or is she in your,
Oh,
I mean, not her bassinet, her pack and play.
actually, no, she's not in the nursery. We're keeping her in our room for the first year of life. That's the goal. Just based on SIDS and I think it's the CDC, or one of those health departments says to keep them in the room for a year to help reduce the risk of SIDS.
Mhm.
So we are trying to do that. We did not do that with Abel. I think we lasted like 9 months
Okay.
ish, maybe 8 months, until I was like, get this kid out of our room. He's so aware that like if we breathe differently, he's like literally he was like looking over the crib, standing up like, and we're in bed like. So I am. Oh, and for people that aren't watching, he's like, you could just see his eyes over the crib, and you can see, and we're like hunched over with our blankets over our head, trying to act like we're not awake, because he's like, "Are you guys awake yet?" And that was when we were like, "Okay, time for you to move into your nursery,"
Yeah.
because we can't have you in the room anymore. So she hasn't moved in just yet, but I am well versed on nurseries because I did do it with Abel.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, let's dig into nurseries. It's funny that Abel was like that at 9 months because Naya's like that now at 4 months. She is like, we can't breathe, like, which is why we actually wanted to keep her in our room longer, but we moved her last night because we can't even breathe in our room. And she's like she
Yeah.
knows. Like I got up to pump the other day. She was sound asleep and she just heard me like literally tiptoe to the door and then she like started waking up. So she's like becoming really, really alert. And
Mhm.
I wanted to keep her in a lot longer,
Yeah.
but she's just like waking up too easily now. So we had to make that transition, which it's I don't know. Now I feel like I'm not going to sleep as much because now I'm like looking at the monitor every 5 seconds. But again, PPA, that's fine. But yes, let's dig into nurseries because I feel like when I was getting ready for Naya to come, I was literally like, what is the best way to organize and like get my nursery together? It's just very overwhelming. Just
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. Do you want to start?
Sure. So I was kind of thinking like when I was newly pregnant, like you just see the algorithm knows you're pregnant. They know what's coming up next. And so you're like getting pushed so many like beautifully aesthetically pleasing nurseries, and I'm just like, the
Mhm.
beautiful beige rooms and everything that you're like, this is perfect for a kid. I would love that. I am not that person. So I'm going to preface all of what I say with I am some people would call me type A, but I, in my heart of hearts, am a type, if someone was like a type C. I'm not like strictly type B because I can get some stuff done, but I am like not very organized at all. And I, if I could and I had the money, I would hire an interior designer because I'm not that great at designing either. So I'm going to preface everything I say with I'm just going to tell you about my own experience rather than don't get a bunch of tips from me based on like how pretty things are and how organized, because it works for me, it might not work for you because I'm a little messy. I like am messy.
You are, there's no little, okay. Okay. Don't be cute for the podcast. You are messy.
I do like to say though, I am messy, not dirty. I do like I clean, everything is clean. It's just I might have a pile of clothes on my floor or or all of my child's 0 to 3 months in a tote instead of a dresser because like a plastic tote that you get from like, you know what a plastic tote is. So anyway, all of that to say is and when you're thinking about organizing and designing, I know that that algorithm just knows. And so you're just sitting there like, look at all these pretty things. And for me, I went functionality first instead of aesthetically first. I'm like, this room is going to work for me, um, rather than it going to be like the prettiest place to be in.
Yeah, that's fair. And that's how ours is. Like, I'm very particular. So I am type A. Um, I'm very particular about things. And like once I have like my mind set on something, I really need it to go that way. So our nursery is like the aesthetic that I wanted, but also I focused a lot on function and like zones. Like I wanted there to be like a play zone and I wanted there to be like a changing station and all of that. So I literally was on TikTok constantly looking at like how people set up their nursery and how like they were functional with their even their like drawers and stuff like that because I was like I don't want to have to redo this 5,000 times. So I would say like I think that's the biggest thing I think every mom would agree on. Even if you're not like into design, I think every mom would agree on function. Like it has to make sense for you and your family and like organized. Like it has to be some type of organized for you and your family, rather it's like super organized over here and then like something's crazy over there. I don't know. It has to work for you. So that's like the biggest thing I think we agree on tip wise.
Yeah, for sure. Was there anything that like you said you do like zones in your nursery? Is there anything in there that you really thought you would use but you haven't used yet or you don't think you will use?
That's funny. So like that's one of the tips I would give first and foremost is like you don't need to get everything right now. Like as you're pregnant, I very much thought I needed to get everything. So we like let me think of like for example, I needed to get the trip trap chair like immediately. It's it's in her closet in the box because like she's not using a trip trap right now. She's 4 months. I mean, I know they have like a newborn
For,
attachment.
for our listeners, what is that?
Oh, I'm sorry. The Trip Trap high chair. It is a high chair and it has a whole bunch of different modes. So you can put it, it's pretty much grows with them. So there's like a newborn insert and then it goes all the way to, I don't even know the age, but like where they're sitting pretty
They
much
say adult-
independently.
they literally say adulthood. They're like, keep this
Yeah.
until you're an adult. Okay. Not
We're
saying
not, we're not
adults,
doing
but
that. But But yes, she doesn't need it right now, but I like needed to get it. So now it's just taking up space in her closet. So that's the first thing I would say. It's like you do not need to get everything right now. So there are like random things like that that we got that are just like in the closet. There was something else that I felt like, oh, her baby Bajourn, that's in her room now, but like she hated sitting in that all the way until like maybe 2.5, 3 months. So like did not need to get that. So that was just like taking up space. Could have waited to like get that, put it up, everything like that. But we are like, I just feel like our zones are, I mean, they make sense. There we have like the play gym area for her play. We have her crib area. We have her changing station, which is like on top of her dresser. And then we have like books and we have like books on the wall, but then we also have like a little bookshelf. And then like the glider, which is where like our sitting and like nursing and like rocking station.
yeah.
But I feel like one of the things I like to point out is the changing station. I don't know if you got this like when you were getting ready or like watching TikToks or whatever, but there were so many videos saying like you don't need a changing station. You're just going to change them wherever because you'll be like busy. I'm
Mhm.
not that mom. Every single time Naya needs to be changed, we pick her up and we go to the station. Especially after that explosion in my car, there's no way I'm changing her on the couch. So I am anti that advice. I
Do you
100% think
do you
that
have
you need to change.
stairs in this new place?
We do not.
Okay. I'm gonna go with that
Okay.
main why because in our house with Abel, it was quite tall. So we had a
Mhm.
basement, a first floor, second floor, and a third floor. And so we used all of it. So we had a changing station on every floor, uh,
So
but we didn't necessarily change him on the couch. You know, like it was at a station that like, but most of our other stations were just kind of like one of those um play mat or not play mats, one of those mats that come in with like a when you like have a diaper bag or something, you put it in there. So most of those are just like on the floor in our house with a diaper caddy next to it. So that way we can change everywhere instead of just in that one spot in the nursery. But if the nursery was close enough, I would also go there because it's so much nicer to stand up and change than to like hunch over and change her. So I get that though. It's certainly, I'm not the type person that's going to be changing on the couch.
yeah, yeah. That makes sense, but especially if you have a bigger house for sure. Like when we first bought her home, we had a changing station in next to her bassinet because we were her in the middle of the night that we don't do that anymore. Um,
Yeah.
but still, we have never changed her. Like there was literally TikToks that were like, "You're just gonna change her on the couch. Like you're just gonna like it's just have your diaper caddy," which we have that, but we've never really like carried it around the house or anything.
Mhm.
We've always just gotten up and changed her. I don't know. So I guess that again depends on your organization and your what's functional for you and your family. We just were not. So like our changing station is very like set up for success for us. So that's one thing
Mhm.
I would say. Like we put her down and then our drawer's right there and we can easily take out diapers, we can easily take out wipes. So we're not like fussing around looking for things. So I think that's also really important, like setting up your nursery too.
Yeah, absolutely. And then so is there something that you didn't buy that you ended up needing though so far?
That I didn't buy that I needed. Not nursery wise. I feel like it's all been like, this swaddle didn't work for her. Let's get another swaddle type of thing like that. Um, or maybe like, I guess when we were setting up, like things I didn't put on my registry that I ended up buying later, like while we were preparing, like a label maker. That wasn't something I thought I would like want, but I don't know if you have your things labeled. I feel like Adam would, but I don't know if
I'm
you do.
gonna go with you know I don't have my things labeled
Let
and
me
I don't
change
own the
that
label maker.
wording. I don't know if Adam labeled things in your nursery. That's what I wanted to say. But we have things labeled. And that was something I didn't think I was going to do. But then I realized who my husband is. And my husband is very much like Tempest. And I was like, if he's taking my folded onesies out and then not putting them back where they belong and trying to figure out things, we're going to be in arguments all the time. So, functionality, keep your relationship happy. We labeled everything. So now
That
we know
is
where everything
so
is.
funny to me. With Abel, Adam, because Adam was home for 3 months with Abel in the beginning, he did all clothes. I didn't touch them. I didn't wash them. I didn't fold them. I didn't put them away. I didn't dress him. Like that was all Adam. Like he did it all. And because it was honestly probably to avoid a fight because I don't care that much. I feel like he really did care a lot more to me. I was just like, just put him. I literally was like, he can be in a diaper because we have to change him so often. I don't care. Like, and he was like, well, we got to wear this outfit and this outfit. We have so many outfits that he's got to like go through all of them before he grows out of it. And so it definitely was him that organized the first go around. And since Adam had to go back to school or to work, he works out of school, back to school within, I think, what did he do, like 3, 4 weeks? Nothing.
Mhm.
And this time around, it's me that's organizing all of Sequoia's clothes. And I wasn't joking when I said they're in a tote. They're in a 0 to 3 tote and then a 3 to 6 month tote. And then there are, for the 3 to 6 month, it's like a really small little shoebox size. There are like maybe 8 clothes. And we just cycle through the 8 clothes.
Oh my God.
And one of my friends was like, "Oh, you need more clothes." I'm like, "No, I don't." Like, she's got more than enough. She's got one outfit every day of the week, and plus an extra.
Valid.
She has a
The
blog.
tote is killing me
I'll,
inside.
I'll like
It's
take
like,
a
where are
picture.
the totes at, Tempest? Are they just sitting on the floor?
Yeah,
I can't handle that.
I'll take a picture for you guys and just put it up in this video. It's quite obnoxious actually. I'm so.
Our dressers are literally 0 to 3, label, 3 to 6, label, swaddles, there's a label,
Oh,
medicines and miscellaneous, label.
we
There.
do actually have labels on the totes. It says 0 to 3 on it, and it says 3 to 6, and we have a swaddle one. But
So when you wash them, do you just take them out or dry them and then you fold them and then put them in the tote, or do you throw them in the tote? I'm
Why
just
would
like
I
trying to give you the
fold
benefit of
them?
the doubt.
Folding them. No, I lay them back down in the tote.
So we have been best friends for so long, and this is so like it matches how we grew up as well because my mom was like such a crazy cleaner, and Timus would come over and all my room was always like it had to be clean, and then I would go to Timus's house and she just had clothes literally all over the floor
On
in
the
the
floor.
bed.
It would be like my carpet and then a layer of clothes, which is why I'm
Literally.
trying to avoid that now and only having 8 clothes for her. So now it won't be all over the floor because it can't be because they have to be worn. So,
Honestly, the fact that they're in totes, not on the floor, is like that is a plus for
yeah.
you. So we'll take it. But anyone who wants my nursery tips,
Hey,
organize your dressers. It makes it easier to pull things out. And then if you don't have an organized partner, we're not going to say husband, partner, then it just helps them know where things are. And it prevents them from asking you where things are 5 times a day because they just know where to go.
exactly. That is true. Very
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. Yes. So that would be my number one tip. And I also would say, like anything storage wise, because I
Yeah.
just feel like you have so much like random things that they can just like be all over the place. So we have a lot of like just like nice storage bins that are in her closet. So it's just, it looks very nice and it's aesthetically pleasing to my eyeballs and it's not all over the place.
Yes. So we do Adam did it all though. So I guess we have it, but it wasn't me that stored it all. But we had the same thing. We do have them all stored in bins. But it's because it was from what we use with Able. We had to store it somehow. So that's mostly why they're in totes. But if we talk about like diapers and like storing all of that and wipes and all of that, so we do have our diapers stored inside of a our changing table, which our changing table, we went from a changing table that was really, it actually was Adam's old one. His mom gave it to his
Oh,
sister-in-law, and her sister-in-law, when she was done with it, gave it to us. And I hated it. Oh my goodness. I felt so bad because I wanted to like it. I'm like, this is so cute. It's like something Adam, Adam was a baby
yeah.
in this, but it was wooden and it was uncomfortable. It was, I'm short and it was tall. And like I had to like reach really far. I'm like, this is dangerous right now. Like I should not be doing this. So we bought like $150 one off of Amazon that is mobile, so it has wheels on it and it is basically like, I don't even know how to describe this. It's wipeable, but it has some measures on there, which we've never done, but it's got a place to store it has a place to store diapers on it as well. And so that makes it really easy for me. So we just stock up the diapers right in the front. We have medicine in the front if we need it. We have a syringe bulb. Is that what they called? The bulb.
Mm-hmm.
Nose sucking. We have, all of our stuff that we need is all inside of this changing table. And then underneath there is a little place for extra stuff too. And so right now we have 6 to 9 month clothes on there. So close enough.
She's in 6 to 9 months or
No,
like that. Never mind. I get what you're saying.
nope, but it's there. Just in case.
Okay, I got you. Got you.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you take a Xanax right after this.
Don't post a picture. Never mind. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Listen, this is why me and Adam like. Also, my Timus hates when we like get along because me and Adam can bond over the things that Timus is insane about, like putting on her clothes in totes. But it's okay.
Yeah. Well, when she does move into her room, it will be organized, and we have drawer organizers. So when they get
Mhm.
when they get bigger, their clothes fit in drawers. But now they don't really fit in drawers, and so we do have like these little drawer organizers where we can set each individual item, whatever you want to put in there. So we have like onesies, and we have not swaddles, we have sleep sacks, and then we have pajamas, and we have them all organized in one drawer with different drawer organizers. So we did eventually do that with Abel. Um, but since she's not in her room, I honestly haven't set up her nursery yet. I'm in her nursery right now. So,
Mm. Mm.
which
You have,
has
I
which has a
think
large
I
bed in
slept in her
there.
nursery when you were pregnant.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually think I remember that. You were like, there were clothes on the dresser, and you're like, it's not set up yet. It'll get there.
Yeah, still isn't set up.
It's
It just takes a minute because they're in my room for so long that I'm just like, I'm not gonna close down a whole room we're not gonna use for a year.
And to be fair, you also have another, I think just in general, when you're a second time mom, things just take longer because you're taking care of a whole other child.
Yes.
So the time commitment to set up a nursery, yours is probably pretty much cut in half, I feel like. But
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
I
Um,
do agree with the drawer organizers though, because we have those too, and they really, really helped. So I feel like that's one thing that we are also agreeing on is to get those.
yes, drawer
Pro
organizer.
tip. Yes.
And when they are larger, they have the cutest outfits are the ones that are like matching,
Mhm.
matching pants, matching shirt. And it took me forever. I'm like, how do as washing them and hanging them up, and then I'm like, what do I do to keep them together? And they're in
Mhm.
like on baby hangers. And there are baby hangers that have little clips in them that you can just put everything together. It took me forever to like find one that I really liked and got that on Amazon too.
Yeah, I agree with that. So like ours is set up like onesies, sleepers, all of that is in her drawers and like divided with the organizers. And then her closet is all the like cute little outfits with the baby hangers for the pants and the shirts. Because I had the same thing. I was like, I'm gonna mix these up and she's gonna not wear one piece and wear the other. And who's gonna remember that? I mean, I don't, but who's gonna remember that this shirt is supposed to go with these pants unless they're together? I'm sorry. But so we did the same thing. And then we have them also organized by with the little they're like cute little door hangers and it has them by months because again, just like keeps everything separated. And so that has helped too because I will forget honestly, like, oh, she's gonna size out of this, so she needs to wear it. Especially because we don't do like daycare or anything. So we pretty much stay in sleepers and onesies or a diaper.
Yeah, it took me a long time, which is a side note. It took me a long time to know that the onesies and footies are technically like pajamas. I didn't realize that. I just was like, they're just, clothes for these babies to be in. And I'm like, oh, the people are literally like thinking that I'm just walking around with my kid in pajamas. And I guess I was.
I mean, I wouldn't have thought anything. My mom was the one that was like, she's in pajamas all day. I'm like, she's a baby. She
Yeah.
can be in pajamas all day if she wants to for until she's a year old. I don't care. But she was like, no, she needs like clothes. And my mom was the one who really bought her a whole bunch of like outfits. And I was like, okay, I guess we should wear it. It's fine.
That's hilarious. I mean, Abel literally is going around our neighborhood right now just in his underwear because he's literally always in his underwear in his like on his bike. He was hanging out with the neighbors yesterday, going down their slide in his underwear because we're potty training him, so we don't put on pants very often. And I'm like, oh, he gets a lot of compliments. Like, oh, cool shorts, and we're like, oh, that's his underwear.
It's so funny. Well, the OT side of me is saying like kid's not going to have very many sensory like difficulties or processing disorders because he's like feet out, hands out, bodies out, and also his dad's at him. So I know that you guys are doing a lot of experiments all the time. But yeah, so that's a good thing. That's a plus.
Yeah.
That was like my fear with sleepers is like her feet always being covered and like things like that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
did you guys do anything at like early on when it came to like baby proofing, or did you guys hold off a little bit?
Yeah. So a little bit of both and neither. So we were really much like, or very much like, we're going to baby proof things that can kill quickly. And then we are not going to baby proof things that are like just kind of like something that needs to be taught. So
Mm,
if that makes sense. So we baby proofed all of the sockets. Don't stick your finger in the socket, but if you're experimenting and for some reason the socket's open, that can kill you quickly. And so we're going to cover that. And you're just going to have to learn one day that we don't stick our fingers in sockets and it'll be closed and you're not even going to know it's there, hopefully. But like other things like the staircase, which, yes, likely you could fall and maybe I'm going to use different words, hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Um, but we had so, like I said, my last place was so tall with Abel that it was so many stairs. It would have been impossible to sit there um, and put stair like the baby gates on every stair, top and
Mhm.
bottom. It would have been a nightmare to go up and down. So instead of baby proofing, we taught him how to go up and down the stairs safely. And he's probably one of the first kids because we have a lot of kids like his age that we're friends with to be able to go up and down the stairs because
Mhm.
we had so many of them. And we were like, instead of teaching you to hate stairs or think they're scary, we're just going to teach you how to do them safely.
Yeah.
So when it comes to baby proofing like that, that's we didn't actually baby proof, and I'm not going to a Sequoia either. But we did baby proof cabinets that have like harmful chemicals in them, so
Yeah.
they get in those. And then when it comes to securing furniture, um, we didn't even know we should. But I think we talked about this previously, where I told Adam to do it, and he didn't understand the severity that could happen when it comes to securing furniture to the wall. And so we will make sure that it is secure to the wall when Sequoia moves into her nursery because I am not going to wake up hearing something fall on my child.
Traumatizing, I'm sure. For
Yeah.
sure. I mean, 100%. Um, yeah, we haven't. We went to her 4-month appointment last week, and she was like, now is the time to start baby proofing because she's going to start being more mobile and things like that. So it's definitely, we actually were just talking about this yesterday. We're getting like all of our sockets, gonna get those covered, and we're gonna start working on that. We're gonna start getting our what is that? It's our cabinets with all of the, oh my gosh, my word finding. I lost it. I was doing so good this episode. All of our sprays, poisons and stuff
Yes.
that taken care of. And then we actually were just talking about our mirrors because we like talked about this before, but like we have 2 mirrors actually that need to be like connected to the wall because they're hazardous. We don't have any stairs, so we don't have to worry about that. But it's something that's on our list now because our doctor was like, it's time because it's just going to happen out of nowhere. And then you're going to be like rushed trying to get everything done. So
Yeah.
definitely need to start getting going with that, which also makes me sad because it's just, they're getting so big. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, we'll get that. We're not there yet, but like, here we are. It's time. So,
Yeah.
other things
Exactly.
though, like, how do you do this is just like me thinking about this now. Like we have her hatch in there now. We just moved out in there. Cords and stuff. Do you just like how do you get
So
those out?
so there are so we there's a couple of things. We did a little bit of them, but I'll go over all of them. There is I'm assuming you can buy it on Amazon or other places, but you can plug it in and then cover it and like screw it in so they can't take it out and play with the
Mm,
cord. And then with the actual cord on the wall, you can kind of put it on the wall and put like a plate over it type thing, like that goes just over the wire. So that way it's not enticing to play with, and they can't pull it off because it's screwed in. And so that's what we did with the hatch and the monitor that's in Abel's room.
mhm.
And he's never touched them. Like he doesn't even seem like he's interested in them. And I think it's because we didn't draw attention to it, and he's just like, there's other fun things in this room. I don't need to touch this random cord on the wall, which is good because that is one of like my biggest worries is that there's this random cord that he could, if he wanted
Mhm.
to, unplug it. So because we didn't do that, we didn't do the screw over the oh my god, over the outlet.
Yeah.
We didn't do the screw over the outlet, so that one definitely makes me a little nervous. But like I said, he hasn't actually seemed like he cares about it at all, and he's getting old enough now that I don't think he's gonna end up just now deciding to play with it when there's
Yeah.
other things in his room.
Yeah. That's good. That's good advice. Put that on our list because we're making our list now.
Yeah, so crazy. Um, And I know like temperature tools is kind of like another thing, just like making sure that the temperature is right in the
Yeah.
room. The only thing that I've ever used to make sure is just our Nanit tells the temperature and the humidity, but it's so hard to regulate temperature in rooms.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm always just like I err on the side of like we always say hot babies
Mhm,
die, babies cry.
mhm.
And we just make sure it's a little colder than we probably want it to be, but at least it's not too hot.
Yeah. Yeah, we have our monitor too that says it, and sometimes we notice it's like a degree or something off, which can make a big difference for them. So we bought a separate little like temperature gauge that we like put in her room. So Nick's like very, I put it on the dresser and he like puts it like near as close as possible to the crib, just to make sure. So we have that. So I think that's really good advice too, because especially like depending on the setup of your house, like for example our bedroom, we have this huge like patio door, so ours is always going to be different than what her room is. So we just like we don't even play like, oh well, we're comfortable, because we don't know how she feels. So we're just like I'm pretty like anal about the temperature in the room, because like that's one of my fears again.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I recently dressed Sequoia too warm and I got her out and I literally thought she had a fever and because she was so
Mhm.
warm. And it just happened to have been like a warm day and night for us that I dressed her like I normally do, but it was definitely warmer out. It was terrifying. She was fine. She woke up and was like
Yeah.
crying a little to eat. So she was perfectly fine, but she felt just so warm.
Yeah.
Uh, so totally, that's a very understandable anxiety, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, temperature is always just like funky in general, like especially in Florida. Like I remember telling you one time, like we keep her in the sleeper, but then if we want to go on a walk, we have to put her in a onesie because it's too hot outside. And then like when I'm walking with her, I'm checking her neck like every 5 seconds because it just is so hot. So now we're going on walks at like 6 p.m. because we you just can't not here. So that's like one thing I feel like that's like one thing you just don't play with in
Right.
general. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's like the meat and potatoes of nurseries, unless you have something else that we didn't touch on.
Yeah, not really. I mean, there's a lot you can do with nurseries, but there's also like so few you can do with nurseries that I'm just like you can whatever works for you and your family will work just fine because it just they change so quickly. They grow out of things so quickly that you might get something you don't even need that long.
Mm.
So I don't really have much to add. I
Yeah.
do I do want to say though, a changing table in the nursery and into their like bedroom or whatever is something that you're gonna want to have. I think
Mhm.
we used the changing table up until Sequoia was born for Abel, and then we just started changing him on the floor. But like it just every person I know that has like a 2-year-old still uses their changing table. So it
Yeah.
is that I think is something to invest in because you're going to use it for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good advice for sure. Anything that you're gonna that you're gonna use for a long time, I feel like it's a good investment. Even like the trip trap chair. I don't we haven't using it now, but it was like I don't want to keep buying different chairs. So we just bought something that like we it could grow with her. So
Yeah.
I feel like that plays into pretty much any type of baby equipment, honestly.
Yeah, agree.
Yay.
All right, gonna move into our unsolicited advice. Did
Is that new? Did you just beat that? Okay. So now you have to do that
Welcome.
every episode. I
Yes.
hope you remember that little beat that you just did.
Welcome to our unsolicited advice segment. Ah. Okay. So I'm having a great day, guys. Okay.
Yeah, they're like,
So
she.
our unsolicited advice this time is again from the new parent subreddit, how to start solids, which is very appropriate for us because we're about to get into that. Hi, my baby is going to be 6 months old next month. I'm a first time mom and I want to know the exact routine when they start eating solids. How much to breastfeed, how much to give in solids. What's the routine like? It's a stupid question, but if someone could break it down for me, how many times do I give my little one breast milk and how much food? I'm a bit scared and apprehensive, thinking that my baby might not want the boob that much, like she does now. I love breastfeeding, and it's my answer to everything comfort, hunger, sleep. Just boob her. When nothing works, boob her. I hope that doesn't go away.
Mm.
So, um, in my opinion, um, breast milk or formula is their diet until they're one. Like that is the bulk of the food. that they're supposed to be eating. That's where they get the nutrients. The rest of it is just for them to play around and to figure out what they like and to experiment and to get, sensory experiences. So to me, I wouldn't stress up that much about it. I think the biggest things to focus on would be get the allergens out of the way very early on. It's been studied that it's less likely to develop allergies if you start your allergies starting at 4 months. There are a number of different ways that you can start start allergens early. I'm actually going to do this powder that has a bunch of allergens in it, and they basically start with like milk allergy, and they go all the way through peanuts to sesame to all the 9 top allergens. I think it's called Ready, Set, Go, but I will put it in the description on the actual name of it. But I'm going to start that once we actually get into solids, and it's powder that goes into the breast milk. So all of that to say is I think that don't stress out about food, because they will figure it out. We all know how to eat as adults. And I do think that especially children that breastfeed, they tend to like breastfeeding more than they like to drink or to eat. So I think that that'll not change because it's comfortable. We smell good to them.
Even when we don't.
I know, right? I always think I'm like, you're like in my armpit right now.
Literally.
Sorry.
Oh, girl. Yeah, I don't really have much to add to that because I mean, yeah, I have like feeding experience with my kids, but those are usually kids who have sensory processing difficulties, children with autism, things like that. So I'm actually going to tap out of this one and go off of your mom experience because I don't have that experience. I mean, I feel like for me, I feel like one of the OTYs that I think of is just like getting experience with different textures and like that sensory experience and things like that. So that's really where I go into. But I feel like I'm following your unsolicited advice here too. So
Yes. And there is a 100 foods by one. I think I'm going to try that this time instead of baby-led weaning, where you just kind of mark off the 100 different types of food and get to that. So that way they have a lot of different experience tasting a bunch of different types of food. But we'll do a whole episode on food, everything. So
yay.
but my unsolicited advice is just make sure that, you're still breastfeeding. It's the most important piece of their diet right now. It's where they get their nutrition from, and food is for fun until they're 1.
Yay. Good job, Tempest.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. That's the end of our episode. And next week, we have a big surprise. We are going to have our partners and husbands on for a cool Father's Day episode. So stick around and listen to them next week.
Yay. Bye, guys.
Bye. Hey, thanks for joining us on Two Moms, Too Much Coffee. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to leave us a review.